Time from work, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you do for work.
I work in fashion. I'm a sweater designer. Work for Banana Republic.
Really?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever met anybody, because I know lots of people that work for Gap in the past, but they're always in like marketing or finance or something like that. So you're actually a designer. You're designing things for Banana Republic.
Yes, men's and women's sweaters.
Specifically.
Yes, specifically.
Not other things.
No, just sweaters.
So there's like a sweater department?
Well, the sweater department is me. Pretty
Okay,
much.
fair
My
enough.
team is very small.
How long have you been doing that?
At Banana, close to 3 years.
And so you were doing it somewhere else before that?
Well, before we were in New York, I moved here like a year and a half ago.
I gotcha. I get the sense that New York is way more like fashion centric.
Yeah.
San Francisco Bay Area is kind of like down the rungs.
Yeah, there's not much fashion over here. There's like 5-6 companies. Probably there's more startups that I don't know about yet because we just moved here, but definitely New York, way more companies.
What got you into that to begin with?
Well, into fashion in general?
I mean, I guess like literally I've never met anyone actually hands-on in fashion or the clothing industry.
When I finished high school, I didn't know what to do, so I spent a year doing something that I didn't like that my mom actually liked.
Yeah.
I quit because I didn't like it, so I started working for a year, and I said, I don't want to work yet.
Yep.
My friend told me, she always saw me like drawing and like making my own clothes, so she told me, why don't you just go and do fashion? I was like, is that a career?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Back then, it was like, I don't know, I'm 38 now. Like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a career.
Sure, yeah.
So she was the one that convinced me. Like, she found even the school for me. So we went together. I did an interview with them, and I started that.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, very cool. So you kind of like parlayed like just a casual hobby thing that you're just... Yeah. So you're just like kind of drawing and making your own clothes? Like,
yeah, because I couldn't find that stuff on the market, so I was always making something.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Sort of a rough transition from there, but for anyone who doesn't know, Andrea isn't in a whole lot of classes, but is a very strong presence in our sort of like Spartan faction. Mm-hmm. And so I see it on social media, you've probably run, what, like 30 races at this point or something?
Spartan?
Yeah.
No, not that many yet.
Not that many? 15?
No. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. But it's like a fairly recent, like I feel like when we met, you'd only been doing it for like a year or something like that.
When I met with you, I had only run one race, I think.
So you're like right at the beginning of it.
Yes, I left New York. That was my farewell. I went to do City Field, the stadium race, and then I got hooked.
Oh, no kidding.
And now once I got here, I signed up for Sacramento, San Francisco, and
you've just been going all out since.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I've seen you've been getting like, well, when you go out to those trail races, like you're getting, first in women or first in your age group, and then like 6 overall and stuff like that. Like you've been out there crushing it.
On the trails, yes. When it's just pure running, yes. But Spartan is still like a little difficult for me.
Sure.
Hence why I keep going to a CrossFit, so I can get a little bit stronger.
Sure.
And conquer the obstacles.
So if it's just pure running, street, trail, golden, what's like the thing at the Spartan races that, it's no big deal, you just get through it, you hop through it, versus the things that are like kind of drag you down a little bit?
Anything that's upper body related, I don't have a problem with. Rings, monkey bars, twister, anything like that, no problem. Anything that is weight related, however, that's what like slows me down a lot.
So it's, because I've only done 2 at this point, so it's like the Alice Stone things and the bucket things and...
It's mostly the bucket, the hair hoist, and the sandbag.
Because you have to do like a sandbag march or sandbag carry, something like that, yeah. Okay.
And some of them, they're like, if they're the ones that they hang even on both sides, it's easier, but sometimes they're like, the bags that you put so the water doesn't get into your garage, sometimes they're that kind.
Yeah, they're kind of gnarly and, don't fit that well.
One of the ones that we did recently, they had log carry too. Mm-hmm. That's harder. It's just like a block of like, you don't know what to carry that thing.
Sure.
So.
Is it real heavy?
I don't know that it was necessarily super heavy, but it was not clean on the edges, so everything was like digging into your shoulders. Yeah. So it was a little harder to carry.
Yeah. The
bucket, well, now that they changed the rules and you can carry on your shoulder, it's a little bit easier.
You can carry it on your shoulder. That was like, you couldn't do that before?
Nope. Okay. Before it was forbidden. Now you can, so it makes it easier. Yeah. Because before you had to carry it on the front, that puts a lot of pressure on your back.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And so what... Because I like I said, I've done just 2. I was like, cool, they're fun. It's not exactly like dialed in my thing. I can't wait. Plus it's like travel and it's like super expensive final. I don't know how you do all this stuff, but like I'm like, man, it'd be cool to follow you guys to Tahoe and Hawaii and stuff, but
well, Tahoe is right here. You have no excuse. It's 3 hours away.
But it's still like, you know, you gotta like get the hotel or whatever, and because they usually start early enough that you don't want to be like waking up at 3 in the morning to get there at 6, and that's not what I wanted.
No, nobody wants to do that.
But what do you find like particularly compelling about? Like, what makes you just want to go to the next one? When is the next one?
Tahoe this weekend.
Okay, right on.
I'm running the trail on Saturday, and then I'm running the Beast Championship on Sunday.
Awesome.
What makes me want to go back? The feeling I get when I finish.
Yeah.
During the whole race, all I think about is like, why did I sign up for this thing again? Can you remind me, especially if I fail something, I'm doing 30 burpees for no reason?
Sure, yeah.
But once I cross the finish line and I see how good I feel, like something that I didn't think I could do, it makes me feel awesome. So I just want to go get the next one and get that feeling again. I guess it's adrenaline. Sure,
yeah. That's I think I would get where you're coming from, because I remember finishing, and again the same. Even the one I did, my legs were all crampy. And
I remember.
Like the last third of it, I was having a pretty miserable time. But I finished, and like the whole thing just kind of like descends on you, and you're like, oh, I do another one. You know, you're just like like immediately like, which one's next? You know, and they have those deals and stuff. You're like, yeah, let me sign up for that.
Yeah.
It's has a very compelling nature to it.
Everything, you know, like that you feel during the race, like all those emotions, once you finish, everything, if it's bad, good, whatever, like it's like, I did it. I just did it. I need to do another one.
Yeah. Just kind of dumps on you a little bit.
Yeah.
And you podiumed in Spain, in a race in Spain. Do I remember correctly?
Well, I did podium. However, I did not get to the podium because I was gone from the race by the time I found out.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, it was one of those cases where I guess the girl that was in front of me got penalized because she didn't do her burpees right.
Oh.
So that bumped me to podium.
So they did like video review thing and.
Yeah. And it was, I didn't even complain. It must have been like one of the other girls in front of me that complained about it.
Yeah.
And then they reviewed anything and like, I got third place just like that.
Yeah.
And I was gone.
Gotta do your burpees a little bit better than
I know. Right? That's like the one thing I have, like always do 31 burpees.
Yeah.
And make sure, you know, chest to the ground, just your hands above your ears and get off.
Yeah, for sure. So you've lived out here in the Bay Area, you said, is it 3 years now?
No, I moved here last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
June.
Yeah. I think I remember that. Like you came into the gym down in Walnut Creek and you're like, I literally just got here this week. I was like, oh, I'm glad you stopped here first.
Yes, I got here June last year.
Okay. And did you just move out here like just because of work, or just hey change the scenery, or? It
was work. They were moving the company. So Gap headquarters is here in San Francisco. They had a Gap brand and Banana Republic in New York.
Yeah.
And they only had Old Navy here and Athleta, and they decided to move Banana. To San Francisco. It was a no-brainer for me.
Sure.
New York life is very stressful, especially with a kid and as a single parent.
Yeah.
Really stressful. You can go to work and leave on time and go get her. It was madness. And then all that snow and rain.
Sure, yeah.
I'm all good over here.
Yeah, I don't often think of, were you living in like New York City proper? Like
no, I was working in Manhattan and living in Connecticut, so I was in another state.
Oh, so you were doing that, there's like some train or something? I don't know anything about the East
Metro
Coast.
North.
Yeah, okay. So actually that was my question, is just like overall quality of life and things you miss, or how the move, you know, change your lifestyle or whatever it is.
It changed for the better.
Yeah.
I actually can go get my kid from work every day.
Yeah.
I drop her off every day. It's just like being able to be outside year round, pretty much. It's just great. Like I wasn't running this much. Like probably if I would have stayed in New York, I would not be into these races so much.
Just because you have kind of like a distinct season where you don't want to be running in December in New York.
Trust me, New York is still okay.
Okay.
I mean, December's still okay, but once you get to January and February and it's all snow and sleet outside, I just don't feel like going out.
Right. It's just no fun.
No.
Yeah, I got you.
I was doing other things while I was in New York. I was doing boxing.
I got you. So has running been kind of like the undertone through everything, or is that something you've gotten into later?
Yeah, I mean, the first time I ran a race was in 2016. I ran a Tough Mudder with a team from my gym.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I didn't get into running. It's once I got here and I started doing the Spartan, some person told me, why don't you just run trail?
Yeah.
I got into the trail thing and I love it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Right
yeah, very awesome. One of the things that struck me, especially because we were kind of in that same time zone at the Monterey one.
Yes.
Was how many people you knew there?
I know, it's impressive, right?
Well, truly one, because I didn't really peg the Spartan culture as having like a community, because there's a little gym and there's competitions and stuff. Everything's like very local and regional, but all these people, they all go to the same races.
They all do.
See them in Monterey and Tahoe and Big Bear and all this stuff.
You see them across the country. I saw so many people in West Virginia when I went there. Like, why are you here? I'm like, they're not even from California. They're from some other place in the U.S. That's
wild. So you've met and retained friendships with people and raced with them multiple times. That really struck me. I didn't have any sense that existed.
Well, to be honest, I met all these people through the gym that I work out, the one in Fremont.
Okay.
They have a big community over there, and they all know everybody for a long time. They've been running for a very long time.
I gotcha.
So just get introduced to people. Every single race I go to, I meet someone new, and like, you are like some elite, or you are some age group that run this race and the other race. Like, everybody knows everyone. It's impressive. I don't know.
Do you get the sense that that's only at the age group and elite level though? Because when I went to the open one at the AT&T Park, it just seemed like a big party, and everyone's like, woo, and like taking selfies and running around and stuff, and like not really that serious, and it's totally fine and everything. But it's when you get to those earlier heats where it kind of dials in a little bit and people start to know each other, and you're encountering similar people all the time. People who are habitual race runners, as opposed to just like, I just went out one time and did it just for fun.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I have a lot of friends that run open and they still go to the same races, but definitely you get to know who your competition is. Like, you start seeing them over and over.
Sure.
Okay, now I know you. I don't know if I want to be your friend or not, but but yeah.
Yeah.
You get to know everyone.
Do you have like a person that you're always chasing? You see him and you're like, oh, I see you over there, Kelly.
I know.
I'm gonna get you.
I don't know their names, but I know like visually, like physically, who they are. Like, at least I'm not chasing them because they're still so far away from me. They're the girls that podium. Like, I know you. Next year, I might be there. So watch out. But usually they mix us up with the age groups.
Sure.
And they put like the from 30 to 39, and like, then I don't know who I'm running against. But yeah, you get to know like some of them.
Yeah.
You check their times, like, she's 20 minutes ahead of me. That's not happening.
Yeah.
That's like about 4 miles.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. Have you? Because there's one thing, like, one of the things that's it's kind of interesting in here is, like, for instance, tonight it was somebody's birthday and people like brought them cake and stuff like that, and obviously that's a little different because they're all go to the same gym. Does it transcend the boundaries of the Spartan races, or it's just like, we're all Spartan friends together, but we don't, like, I don't know, organize a beach party and like.
No, they actually did last I think it was last weekend or a couple of weekends ago. They made like a potluck thing for everyone to go to, and like their families come to. They just like more people than just the people that are running. We do travel together a lot, and then they do birthday parties too, and like they just invite everyone. I actually went out with some of my girlfriends from the Fremont gym, just out for drinks one night.
Sure. Like,
just has nothing to do with anything. Like, just to prove that we're not always on our gym clothes.
Sure.
That
right.
We can always
100%.
clean up, and that's it. Yeah.
It's I mean, it's wild to me. I talk to my parents about this kind of thing all the time. How, because you said you were 38. So I'm 35. So we're about the same age. And like growing up as little kids, there wasn't this kind of stuff.
Oh no.
And so our parents, they had nothing to do. And so if you didn't have any friends, you like relocate and you're a single parent, you're super busy and working all this kind of stuff, like 20, 30 years ago, like how would you even have had any sort of social life whatsoever? But now you can go out and you can do Spartan races and join a kickball team and go to a CrossFit gym, and there's all these places to go out and find like-minded people that just want to do the same thing.
Yes, and not only that, I like that, especially here in California, you can bring your kid anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, look at her, she's here.
Yep.
She comes to the gym all the time. She does her burpees over there.
Yeah.
She comes to the obstacle place too.
Yep.
I feel like that in a way is different too from the East Coast. Like where I will go to my gym and like they will look at you like, why is your kid here? You know, like because I have no one to watch it, and otherwise I'm gonna be miserable not working out. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a gain here.
Yeah, it was just like a different. Why do you think that is? Like, it's just part of the culture.
I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like I don't. There's so many things when I get here to California that, for example, you go out for dinner, right?
Yeah.
Unrelated. And
sure.
I asked, like, is there an attire to go to the restaurant? Like, people look at me like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. Like, can I go with flip-flop shorts? They just tell me, like, no, this is California. You can go however you want. Like, oh, okay. So I think, like, there's many little things that are, like, completely different like that. The kids is another thing.
Yeah.
Not that they don't like kids, but
yeah.
I feel like there's a place for the kid.
Right.
Kind of like that.
So you're, like, living in New York and in Manhattan, there you go to a place and there's, like, a dress code. And they're like, whoa, 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 hey. Open-toe shoes? I don't think so.
Not everywhere, you know, but some places, if I gotta do a reservation for it, usually that doesn't mean that I can just walk in whatever I'm wearing.
Right.
So that's why I usually ask, like, oh, okay, it says, like, it's an expensive restaurant?
Yeah.
Do I have to dress up? Like, no.
Yeah.
And I actually have made people go, like, can you call and make sure?
Yeah.
And they answer you, like, no, there's no coder here.
Yep.
You're crazy. But
it's that is even more to the extreme down in the beach communities in San Diego and LA and stuff like that. Because you'll have, like, there's a lot of biotech money down there. I used to live down in San Diego.
Okay.
There's a lot of biotech money down there. And so you have these people who are worth millions and millions and millions sipping on super fine wine, and they're wearing, like, Tommy Bahama shirts, cargo shorts, and, like, Birkenstocks. And just, it's like, hey, it's San Diego. I might go stick my feet in the water later. And it's like, it is, I guess it's different. Yeah.
But I think that's great. I mean, why do you have to change your clothes?
I don't know. Different, yeah. What else? What other kind of things are notably like, oh, this is definitely an improvement, quality of life kind of thing?
Oh, well, not everything is an improvement.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's hear the dirt. What's up with the Bay Area?
I hate BART.
BART is leaves something to be desired.
Not just BART, the transportation system is how oblivious people are on BART. Like, backpacks is a main problem, like a big problem over here.
Really?
Nobody takes their backpack off their back.
Oh, so they're like two people standing there?
Yeah, like they're bumping you with a backpack. They're, like, hitting everyone. There's no room. It's like, it's just common logic. Just put your backpack down on the floor. Very little people do that. If you were in New York in the subway with your backpack, someone's going to grab it and put it away for you.
Wow.
Well, maybe not that exaggerated.
Yeah.
But someone will tell you, like, get your backpack off.
Yeah. No, I get that sense, though. Like, New York and Boston, people are like, hey, I'm going to, like, call you out on something.
They will.
Or in the Bay Area, people are like...
You're like...
yeah. Very passive aggressive. Yeah. BART is probably, as far as a place that relies on actual public transportation, because Southern California, there is no public transportation. So you can't really criticize it because it doesn't exist. It's terrible. There's, like, one bus and one stupid train that goes nowhere.
Great.
But a lot of people, like millions of people, rely on public transportation in Northern California. And it's disproportionately terrible compared to New York, or you are from Spain.
Yes.
And
that's like, that doesn't even compare.
Yeah.
Like the subway in Madrid, top notch, new, on time, works like a charm.
Yeah. I think we actually elected to, when we were in Spain, we rented a car and drove. But we did take the subway a little bit, or maybe we took a train from one part of Spain to another. But, like, the availability to get around in that part of the world without a car is, like, perfect.
It's much bigger,
Yeah.
Here.
Do you go back to Spain often?
This time was the first time in 3 years, so I guess that's a no.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a long flight.
Yep.
Like, even further away, now that we're in San Francisco, it just gets so expensive. And if you're gonna fly with a kid, it's double the price.
Yeah. Yep.
And you don't want to go with a kid for 12 hours on a plane. Trust me.
Yeah. My wife and I flew up to Idaho, which is like 2 hours and change, and it was like, all right,
when are we landing?
Captain, could we?
Just drop us off here. We're fine.
It gets their energy starts to boil over, and you can't do anything.
Because especially if your kid is too small for entertaining her, probably.
She is. Well, at that point she was 2, and so. Yes, you can, but her attention span is about, like, 90 seconds. And so this thing that we brought, and 90 seconds, and then and so you run out of things.
I know.
In 2 hours, you're like, man, we didn't bring enough stuff to entertain her.
So the rule of thumb is, like, bring like a couple new toys to open for every hour you spend on the plane.
Seriously, yeah.
Once they get older, you know, you just just let them watch movies.
Yeah.
That's it.
Watch a movie.
Eat whatever you want.
Coloring book, yeah. Food, like those things.
What? I don't know what you say. What? Oh, the Octonauts. Okay. Finish your food, sweetie. What are you making a mess here? I'll have to vacuum later. Evelyn, can you wait for that? Why don't you build something over there? Yes?
Oh, you got some cool blocks over there?
Yeah, it's like magnets. You should get these for your kid.
Yeah, seriously. Those are cool. I won't play with them. Is most of your family still in Spain?
All my family's in Spain.
So what brought you out here to begin with?
Well, I met my ex-husband, I don't know, like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
In New York. So I moved here because of him. That's why I'm here. There's no other reason.
Yeah.
And then I stayed, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I liked it so much better. I mean, Spain has great things, but quality of life that you can get in America is not comparable.
Right.
Like for the job that I was doing there, the same job over here, it would pay me like 4 times more.
Right. And the cost of living isn't disproportionately lower to offset that?
Not much. Food is definitely cheaper in Spain for sure, but like cost of living, if you make over there, like, I don't know, I was making like maybe 2,000 euros.
Yeah.
Most like a house will probably cost you like around 800 or 900 already.
Yeah.
And then you gotta pay for the rest. So
sure.
It's not that great.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely would make it tough. My wife is absolutely in love with Spain.
It's a country. It's an amazing country. The food is awesome too.
Yep. She's I don't know where in particular from, but she wants to. Someday we're gonna figure out how to buy a house in Sevilla because she.
Oh, the south.
Yeah, loves Sevilla. My geography is terrible. I can't remember exactly where that is, but.
South.
Yeah.
It gets really hot in the summer over there. You know that, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. We went
like
there
over
in like
105.
Yeah. But it's more like humid heat.
No.
Where it's dry.
It's semi-dry over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like here-ish. I guess it'd be about.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 100 this week.
Say, this area actually reminds me a lot of Madrid.
Okay.
Like not just the weather, which is pretty similar. It rains way more in Madrid, but the whole scenery, the landscape, and the mountains, it looks so close to Madrid too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sevilla is way hotter than Madrid.
Yeah. Are you from north, south, or whereabouts?
I was born in Barcelona, but I moved to Madrid when I was 5.
Oh, okay.
So I consider myself from Madrid.
I gotcha. Okay. So I was gonna say you don't have the Barcelona lisp.
The lisp?
Yeah.
The whole lisp?
Barcelona.
Oh, Barcelona.
Yeah. No.
All Spain says Barcelona.
They all do? You didn't say it just now.
Because I was
Americanized. Yeah. Americanizing it. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's just the way the accent is, to say Barcelona that way.
Just the C, you say Barcelona.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah. I thought that was a Barcelona specific thing.
No.
Somebody told me that.
Not that special.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
It's for all Spain.
Yeah. Maybe
South American Spanish says with Barcelona with an S sound.
Yeah. Fair enough. So you moved out here. Was he American or Spanish or?
He's American born. His parents are from Poland.
Yeah.
So yeah, I moved here because of him. We got married for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And then we split up.
Yep. And then out west you go.
He's here actually too.
Oh, okay.
So he came for my kids. So.
Oh, fair enough.
That's good. Otherwise, I would not be able to be running every single weekend.
Yeah, I was like trying to put the math together, and I was like, wait a minute.
I don't put her in a backpack.
Yeah. Is that legal?
I don't know. You want me to ask?
Right. Put the kid in the backpack and just. I don't think that would.
That would be rocking. I don't think that would be running.
Yeah, right. That'd be slightly different. So what kind of like? I don't know if you feel like you're just in a race mode where you go, yep, I'm just gonna race until I don't want to anymore. You have like specific goals, or you're like, this is my jam. I'm gonna do this forever, or.
So this is the thing. I find one thing, I like it, I get into it, and then at some point, like it depends how far I get into it. I let it go, or I just keep going at it.
Sure.
For example, like I started doing boxing right after, like a year after I gave birth to my kid, because I needed to lose weight.
Sure.
And boxing seemed like a fun thing to do.
Yep.
And I really liked it, but I didn't have enough time to like go to the next level, like
sure.
go to an amateur competition or something like that. You really need to train.
Oh, so you're doing like boxing. You weren't doing like fitness boxing.
No,
like
I was like
heavy bag and whatever. You were like learning combinations
sparring,
and like sparring and like okay, I got you.
But and because of jiu-jitsu, you need to put a lot of time into training. Yeah. It's not like okay, let me just go and compete with someone. Like they're gonna beat you up.
Yeah, you can't go just like once a week.
No, and I didn't have time for that. So I still like it, but it's not compatible right now with running because there's a lot of twists and moves, and then you end up, injuring your back, and so I let it go for a little bit. Then I did a little bit of pole fitness, and I really like that. Yeah. But again, you need to put so much time into it to get really, really good and like go to class.
Seems like very technical.
It's very technical. It's very strength driven and a lot of grip. That's why I got my nice grip on the rings. I got that from that. But again, like it requires a lot of flexibility, and I don't have that. I will need to put like so much work into it that I will have to be basically doing that every day, and I just don't have the time. Running for me, it's way easier.
Well, it seems like the barrier to entry is fairly low, where you're just like, ooh, I've got half hour. You could just put on your shoes, go for a run.
Yes.
You don't have to find a class. You don't have to, find a person to spar with or anything. Yeah. You just go. So it seems like, that sounds like a good fit.
So right now, my goal this year was it's my first year competing age group.
Yeah.
My goal this year was to try to get into the championship, which I did.
Yep.
I'm not planning on placing in the championship because I'm not there yet.
Sure.
But next year...
So the race you're about to do this weekend was like qualified or invite only or something?
You have to qualify. So
very cool.
I qualified for the regional, which was in West Virginia. You had to place top 10 in any race to qualify for that one. So and then after that one, top 40 in your age group, you can qualify to run on this Sunday with the championship. You can run Tahoe on Saturday open, and then but the Sunday one is just reserved for qualifiers.
Interesting.
So that was just my goal this year. Not planning on winning anything because I can't. It's just there's like the best of the best are there. Like, I'm not there yet, but next year definitely I'm gonna like focus more on that.
That's cool. Very awesome. Where do you think? I mean, you mentioned kind of lower body strength and the heavy carrying things, but it seems like there aren't that many of those. Does that disproportionately slow you down, or would you gain more by just being slightly faster, shaving down your mile times? Like, where's your biggest room for growth?
So for me, the worst thing is that every time I finish it, I can complete it, but I can't complete it as fast as other girls can. And like when I'm done, it takes me a while to recover properly to get myself and running. That's what I want to focus in, like be able to do not only the obstacle faster, but like once I'm done, get it going.
Okay.
So I usually start breathing, stretch my back, do this, do that until I can finally start going, and that slows me a lot.
So post obstacle, you can't just drop it and run.
Certain obstacles, like walls or rings, whatever, I can just start sprinting. But anything that's like weight related, it takes me a little while to just recover from
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so the obstacle itself slows you down, and then kind of like recovering from the obstacle, and then everyone else is already off and running, and you kind of lost a little distance. Okay, I see.
Also the hills, I need to work on that.
Okay.
If it's flat, I don't have a problem, but there's a hill, that's why like I feel like all the lower body strength and all the leg power, that's what I need to gain.
Yeah.
For both the strength and the hills.
Absolutely. That's I mean, when we do the obstacle race training stuff, we're going to do that again, but it's going to be specifically geared towards the stadium.
Yes.
Which it's so interesting because I talk to people like, "Oh, you should do the race." And they're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready." I'm like, it's not that bad. Like if you're doing CrossFit and all that kind of stuff, like maybe we don't do a lot of running, and maybe the running will be like disproportionately taxing, but like the obstacles are fine, and you'll finish and you'll survive. But people are like intimidated, so I was like, all right, well, we are going to gear training towards this so that you specifically can go, just have fun and just not, not be an issue at all.
I feel like the stadium ones are like so geared towards CrossFitters that I feel like no one that goes to the gym should have a problem to do it.
Yeah, I agree. But all
just go up and down the stairs a bunch of times,
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. That's all you need to train, pretty much.
I've devised a method where we can train stairs without having stairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's not actually that clever. It's just box step ups. Okay. But I'm gonna put it together in a way where, because that truly did slow me down a little bit. Not to mention waiting for people. But after a while, I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of stairs.
I was like, more stairs? No.
It's considering that an obstacle. I mean, did they consider it an obstacle? I was like,
it is not the obstacle, but they know specifically that that's gonna slow you down. No, you can't keep running up and down the stairs if you're not ready for it.
Right.
So you gotta train different.
That was otherwise, like, if that wasn't there and if it was just, run the smaller sets of stairs and then do the bear crawl and then over the thing, I'd be like, zip, 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 zip.
Yeah,
no big
you'll
deal.
be done in no time.
But by the time you get that sandbag and you're on the stairs and stuff, you're just like, all right, you in front of me, just walk. I don't even care anymore.
Just do your thing.
Otherwise, I'd be like behind someone, like trying to stomp extra loud. So maybe they'd be like, oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah, when people are racing open, they don't really care much. It's like, you're open, you're not getting anything. That's some of the people.
Well, see, I didn't even know that existed. When I signed up for that race, I thought everything was just like
the same.
Whoever wins. Gotcha. I didn't realize that was a distinction. I thought there was literally just elite and then just everyone else, as opposed to the age group stuff.
Yeah, I think you'll do great in this one. The super was a little bit. No, you will. I think you did great last year, and you were running open. Imagine you don't have people in front of you, and.
That is definitely true, but I'm pretty out of shape right now, so I need to actually.
What is it? September?
Yeah.
2 months.
I've been saying that for like 3 months. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get my training back.
Just go up and down the stairs. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, just do only. Honestly, if I did only stairs, it would probably be just fine.
I always remember that I gotta run the stadium at the end of the year, so every time I get to work, I run up the stairs.
Yeah.
That's my training for the day.
I used to have that habit when I worked in an office. I would, BART, right? Which BART station you go to?
Pleasant Hill.
Pleasant Hill, right? So there's 8 stories. And so the timing of my day is I park on the 8th floor, and I would take the stairs up and down, never take the elevator. But I don't work in Oakland anymore. I just drive here and then walk around all day. Yeah.
Well.
Yep.
You know what to do. Get the bleachers going.
Yeah. Okay. Time to train more stairs.
She's so funny.
Yeah, that's actually. We're at about 30 minutes, which is about. We can't go much longer anyway. So that's perfect. Perfect timing.
You gotta go to the bathroom, buddy?
Yeah. And cut.